everyone, Shen Thomas here. Anyway, today I wanted to do a little discussion on speed with punches in Wing Chun. And what I found is that you can develop speed with power, right? But at a certain point, when you try to put a lot of power into something hard and maybe just slightly yielding, like a sandbag, right? That the faster you go, the more you sacrifice power. Now, there are people that are training Wing Chun punches and they're hitting either a soft bag or they're hitting focus mitts or pads that are basically soft. And so they're hitting it fast. Yes, you know, you can do that and you can feel the power in that. But the type of training to hit something that's a little more substantial is actually better for your training, more realistic, right, than just hitting something soft. And in Wing Chun, most schools have a little tiny wall bag. So they have this little wall bag that's about that thick. And then they're just hitting that, right? They're hitting that. They can't even do really, you know, that they can maybe do some lot sao, right? They can't really do a bong sao on that. They can't do their other tools. And so usually with a sandbag, it's better to do a bigger, heavier sandbag or wall bag that is at least about 3 to 5 inches thick and maybe about 12 to 14 inches tall and about the same width, 12 to 14 inches. Because then what happens is from all the sand in here, it makes this bag about 40 pounds, right? And so the sand, of course, is a little bit looser at the top, but it gets more compacted at the bottom. And so that's where we actually want to focus our punches, is on the bottom, because we're hitting it with the momentum of the speed and the power, right, and the structure, right, and we're getting that dead weight moving because we're relaxed, and then we can actually put a dent into the sandbag by hitting that compacted sand, right, and it ends up moving the compaction of the sand to another place in the bag, right? And so then after hitting one place, then we can come to where now the bag is fuller from the compacted sand, and then we work in that place, right? That spot. And so when we hit the bag with power in Wing Chun, we actually want to, you know, extend the triangle, use heavy elbow, right? And we'll also sometimes do movement with our punches, right, which also Wing Chun does, with either shifting or with our slide step footwork, right? Because then we get more of the body's mass behind that punch, right? And we need that because we're not really doing like Shaolin punches where we're using the shoulder, right? And so we're using that elongated triangle that comes down and doing the vertical punch, okay? And my Sifu, Eddie Chong, would have us actually do the punch from right here to develop power. Because it's easy to get more power out here when you're moving or when you're shifting, right? But it's harder to develop it from right here. And this is where Wing Chun needs to develop their power, because since we're doing sticky hands and we're really close, when somebody comes in to grab us or to grapple, we need to be able to do full power punches from right here, okay? Or full power strikes from right here. So the point of what I wanted to make today is on speed. What happens is when the faster we get with speed, then the more we are pulling back for that next punch before we've let the power sink into the bag, okay? And so when you punch the bag relaxed, you'll actually see when you make contact, you'll see a shock wave that comes back from the bag, goes up into the arm, and because we're relaxed, then it comes back and goes back down into the bag. So a good powerful strike almost needs about half a second or maybe even a whole second to really penetrate, for the shock wave to go in and come back out and go and sink into the bag or the person, right, that your opponent. So what happens is you can punch probably about 4 or 5 times a second and still deliver that power, right? But when you get up there to 5 or 6 times a second, you're pulling away before you can deliver that power, right? So some people claim to be able to punch 7 times a second using Wing Chun punches, or even 9 times a second, like Bruce Lee. But you're punching so quickly that you're pulling away before you can really deliver the power. So it's maybe better to be quicker with your tools, right? But then when you deliver the power, maybe relaxing and being a little bit slower. So I always thought of it as, instead of being fast, I'm quick at being slow, or maybe I'm slow at being fast, right? So I'll play with my students, and I might be quick, right, when it comes to timing of one, but I'll still let the strikes sink in, right? And you know, in the case of the way we train, you know, when we're doing our kind of freestyle sticky and light sparring, well, we can move as fast as we want, but we keep it empty for the student, for the training. But then we put the power into the bag and the wooden dummy, okay? And so then we can use almost all of our tools as strikes. So with this big kind of sandbag, I can actually get the curvature of a tan sao and hit, right, using tan sao, hit using bong sao over the whole curvature of bong sao, and lot sao, fox sao, right, wu sao, fuk sao. So we can train all of our tools on this because it's a thicker bag and it has a little more girth to it. So anyway, that's a little Wing Chun tip for today. Just wanted to cover that.